Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Impact with Elle. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about real estate and the housing market, and actually wanted to bring up a couple of things that I'm not sure people are thinking about. Some of you definitely are, and some of you maybe it's not front of mind. And that is the upcoming end to the moratorium and the evictions. The moratorium on evictions and the forbearance ending. So that's all coming up this month in June, although there's some talk that it may be extended to September. But what I think that means is a shift in the housing market overall, as we start to see or should see supply coming online in the second half of the year. I really happen to think that there's going to be a correction in the market, and that largely is going to be a result of this shift in that we've kicked the can down the road for quite some time now, but people are going to have to start paying and or facing the repercussions that come with this, because somebody is not getting paid, and at some point that just can't continue. I think landlords are in trouble. And so we're going to start to see a wave of defaults coming from landlords who have not been able to pay their mortgages, because they're not able to collect rents. Or they've postponed bringing in tenants because of the concern about having tenants who won't pay. So there's two sides of that one. Also, the fact still remain is that people don't have money. I've talked about saving in the past, and this country remains one that is not a country of savers. In fact, I read somewhere that 50% of people in America have less than $5,000 in the bank. I mean, that's pretty concerning. Right now, the numbers from, I believe it's the Urban Institute that I pulled these from, there are 10 million people facing eviction, and that represents about 57 billion in rents that aren't paid. These are really big numbers. The government is going to be decreasing and has already started decreasing in some cases, depending on the state, the benefits that are being paid to people for the COVID bump, if you will. I'm not sure how you want to call that, but those are starting to come down. And frankly, for some people, that was supplementing their ability to pay rent. So I think we're going to start seeing that ability to pay rent coming down, which also you have the people who are home owners and have mortgages that they've been on forbearance coming to an end. And frankly, there's 2 million people right now that are seriously delinquent on their home loans. So I think we're going to see a huge number of these properties come to the market. Most of the reason why the real estate market has been so hot is largely because supply has been so limited. And so, I think we'll see that shift. Doesn't mean that the market is going to necessarily cool down, but it probably will as we see some additional supply. Still, keep in mind that 8.5 million people are still unemployed in this country. So this is not a problem. This is not an economy that has, flipped and it's suddenly, sunshine and roses. Again, I mentioned early on that someone's not getting paid along this chain, and actually that someone could be you. The reality is a lot of these mortgages are held by pensions, investment funds, mutual funds, and 401k programs, you name it. And a lot of people don't even know that that's what's in their own portfolio. And when these things go delinquent, those loans don't get paid, and therefore those investments don't get paid, so they don't meet their return, and that comes all the way back to you guys, most likely. So I just wanted to raise two points here. One is that I think that the market is probably going to see an influx of supply. I think we're going to see an increase in delinquencies, whether it's from loans or rent. I think you'll see landlords also defaulting. So it's kind of a grim picture. But on the other side of that, we're also seeing from the investment side that those returns haven't been met, and so that there's going to be some some decline, well, that's already incurred in those investment portfolios. Anyways, my thoughts on real estate for today. So I hope you're enjoying my content. Please remember to like and subscribe.